I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world, and that's our job.
What up,
Like a Tribe Called Quest. You say the whole thing.
Welcome back to a Pod Named Kickback. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You say the whole thing. Also known as the Black CNN, and the revolution will be televised. I'm no breaks new, the righteous ratchet. If you throw it, I'll catch it. If you got it, I'll match it. Each and every week, we right back at it. I am the Black Savage, the Magneto of my people. And this week, I got a very special guest. As I've told you before, every episode of the pod now, I suspended having a permanent co-host. So I bring on people that I think can add good information to the conversation, some entertainment, some righteousness, some ratchetness, a good old time to make sure that we keep giving you the podcast that you love, that you just made July our greatest month ever. You just made July. It doubled our best month ever, and it quadrupled our average month. And right now in August, we're 100 or so streams away from our average. It's August 2nd. And for y'all that's listening to this on podcast sites, it's August 3rd. So I think you like what I'm doing. I think you like what I've been bringing to the table, the new guests, the new ideas, the new newness. And speaking of the new guests, I got Tawana in the building. She said, I think I should start a podcast. I'm funny. I said, you funny? You should start a podcast? Come on. Come to Death Row. Come to Death Row. And let's see what you can do. So I'm going to have a really good time having a conversation with Tawana. Tawana, I want you to introduce yourself to the people. Let them know what you're about and what makes you such a great candidate to start your own podcast. And then let's get into our banner and let's have some fun tonight.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. I'm Tawana. I'm from California, but I've lived in Atlanta for almost 18 years now. But still, Cali is my home.
What part of Cali?
San Diego.
Okay. You're
Yeah.
San Diegan. You know what that's from?
Huh?
You know what that's from? You're a San Diegan. It's and Ron Burgundy, Anchorman. You never seen Anchorman?
No.
Do you like dumb white comedies?
You know, one of my favorite ones is Hangover.
You would love Anchorman. Anchorman is on the level with Hangover.
I could watch Hangover over and over again. I still laugh.
Yeah.
Only the first one though. The other ones was kind of mid.
Well, then you got to add Anchorman. It's in San Diego. It's based in San Diego. You got to watch it. It's on Will Ferrell, Christina Applegate from Married with Children, and like all the little funny white dudes. But continue to tell everybody who you are and where you're from.
I don't know. We ain't trying to give an introduction, but I think a podcast would be fun. I love to debate. I love to go back and forth. I'm always right about 98% of the time. So, so I just think a podcast would be fun. And I love to talk. I'm very blunt, very direct. I don't have a filter. So I think those are great attributes for a podcast.
I would definitely agree. with that. And the energy and the good naturedness and the willing to speak your mind, that's I mean, that's what you look for in a podcast. And so I'm gonna have to agree with you. And I think we're gonna have an amazing show tonight.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we
Let's get to
always,
it.
yes, ma'am. And we start with a high and low of the week.
Highs and lows. What was
Um,
your high of the week?
First.
You first.
okay, okay. I think I did. I don't know what I just did, but I had us talking triple time. Did you hear that?
Uh-uh.
Oh,
I didn't hear it. You want me to go first?
okay. Let me get rid of that echo. Okay, boom. So the echo was gone. All right. So high low. Um, my high of the week was my business and the podcast are both just taking off. Like it's
Okay.
crazy. Matter of fact, shout out to everybody if you need life insurance in the United States of America. If you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, or 80s, and you need life insurance anywhere in this country, I can get you covered. The Newman agency can get you covered. If you, no matter what ailments, illnesses, or diseases you may have, I have at least one provider that can take care of you, no matter
So
how.
even if you have pre-existing conditions,
Yep. Let them know. Let
you
them
can
know.
get them in.
The Newman agency will take amazing care of you. And the podcast, like I said a little while ago, like we've doubled, tripled, and quadrupled all of our streaming numbers on the platform. And I know when a lot of podcasts start to quote unquote blow, they kind of go like, it just happened this one day and everybody was listening. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened.
Like an overnight success.
Yeah, yeah, but this is a 11-year overnight success. So it really wasn't overnight.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
I do want to appreciate everybody tuning in. And for those of you who don't know, anybody who listens to this podcast with any sort of consistency, I call y'all kickbackers. It's a pod named Kickback, and y'all are the kickbackers. And whenever I scream this or say this is my personal shout out to you. So for giving us our best month ever. First, let me give you a round of applause because y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. And I also want to do my patented kickbacker scream. Kickbackers! My low of the week, I haven't really had a low. I just have some decisions to make. And so I've been thinking. And you never you want to make the best decision. And you don't want to have paralysis through analysis where you're thinking too much. But I have some big decisions coming up.
Are you anxious?
Yeah, and I have anxiety. So I'm anxious every day, any damn way. But because of these decisions, I'm anxious. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't call that a low, but if I have to have a low, that would be my low. What about you? What's your high and low of the week?
My high for the last week, I would say, was going on a girls' night to see the Barbie movie.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was really fun. We all got cute in our Barbie pink, and all of us looked like a different kind of Barbie. Not intentionally, but it was just so cute seeing all the different looks. And the movie was interesting. It was a lot better than I thought it would be. And yeah, so that was my high. It was a very fun night. It was cool.
I saw some of the pictures too. So good job to y'all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so
The low, let me see. I can't really think of a low. I guess I would say the fight because it wasn't as competitive as it should have been. It was pretty much a one-sided dominant fight by Crawford. So
yeah. Hey, you know what? That could have been my low too, because I'm gonna tell you why. I pre-gamed. I was ready for the fight. I'm working really hard. I'm not doing a lot of partying or nothing. So my weekend was like, I'm gonna watch the fight. That's my
okay.
big night of the weekend. I fell asleep in the first round. I
You
fell
fell
asleep
asleep.
in the first round. Man, I sat down on the sofa, had my drink, and
You ain't even see him get knocked down in the second
no,
round?
no, I saw none of that. What I saw was I saw the replay. I saw the highlights.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it live. I was not, man. I was so disappointed. Like, you got to be kidding me.
You ain't bet no money on it, did you?
Huh?
Did you bet any money?
No, I ain't bet no money. I didn't know who would win. I'm a boxing fan, but like some of these are just new. So I just some of these boxers are new to me, and I wasn't informed enough to make a decision. I've been watching Tank. You know what I'm saying? Javante
Tank
Davis.
is a familiar name.
Yeah, I hadn't been watching Earl Spence or Crawford too much to know. I felt like Crawford might have the advantage, but I was like, I don't know. I wouldn't have bet no money because I didn't know enough. And then when I saw the fight, I was like, damn, I was actually right. You know what I'm saying? I would have bet, but I wouldn't have bet no money on that because I ain't know enough.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
Okay, but you were disappointed by the fight.
Yeah, I mean, I like to see it back and forth, some kind of competition. You know, there was none. Terrence just dominated.
And that's what everybody's saying. And from the highlights, of course, that's what I saw too. But I mean, I wonder if Tank Davis can give him a good fight, because how Terrence Crawford looked, I'm like, who can fight him? I don't know that anybody can give him some competition.
Well, he gonna move up. He gonna fight the Charlo guy.
Charlo. Okay, well, if he moves up for
Well,
Charlo,
Charlo got to win against Canelo first. That fight is coming up. I think it's in a few months. I think.
Well, what's up? Earl Spence is gonna probably do his rematch. So they're saying if he does that, if he exercises that right, that fight will be in December. So that'll be.
I don't think he should do that though.
You don't? You think he should let it go? I think you better let it go.
Look, one ass whooping is embarrassing enough, but two. Wait, we can cuss on here, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, fuck
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I had to keep it PG-13 or whatever, but two ass whoopings is that's too much. That's just.
Yeah, especially with Bud Crawford walking around like Diddy.
I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
That's how he looks to me. I want those belts.
As he should, because he had an answer for everything Spence was doing. He had an answer.
It was like after round one, from what I saw and what I hear, after round one, he said, oh. And then in round two, knocked him down a couple times.
It was it.
He needed one round to figure him out.
Just to see and observe, just to do some figuring out, and that was it.
I've been in that position before, just going on a date with a woman one time, and then you're like, I got it. I know what to do. I know what to do. I know what to do. But I want to get into so we did your high low, we did my high low. Let's get into our viral story of the week. And I wonder if you saw this movie or not, but we'll see.
My left stroke just went viral.
Our viral story of the week was they cloned Tyrone. Now, I gave a little bit of my thoughts on the movie last week, but I didn't want to do too much. I wanted to get everybody a chance to watch it and kind of form their own opinion before I went too crazy with my explanation of what I thought. Have you seen it?
No, I ain't seen it yet.
Okay, I'm going to try not to ruin it for you, but we got to talk about it. And I think I can present it in a way that you'll be able to participate.
Well, first of all, do you think Jamie Foxx has been cloned?
No.
Okay.
I don't think Jamie Foxx generates enough money in Hollywood or the world to warrant a cloning.
Okay.
They just don't bring enough money. Like they cloning budget niggas now. You know what I'm saying? Like I would think you clone somebody that made a difference. And not to disrespect Jamie Foxx, not to say he does nothing.
He's a legend.
He's not a financial legend. Movie theaters aren't making billions of dollars.
He's a Hollywood movie. He's a legend. Like, who else is out there is like Jamie Foxx?
Well, do you clone people because of who you think they are, or you think their ability, or do you clone them for financial gain?
Wait, do you think cloning is real? I was just joking.
Oh, I think that cloning will be real, and it can be real. It can be real right now. If someone came to me and said, cloning is real, I would question it, but I wouldn't denounce it. Like they're able to clone a lot of things. A person, maybe, I don't know. But if they could, they ain't cloning no damn Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Now,
Tell me about the movie.
okay, so the movie is set nowadays, and there are three main characters. There is a drug dealer, a pimp, and a prostitute, which are all the stereotypes in the black community, of course. And the theory is, well, how do I do this? So they're Jamie Foxx's character is a pimp, and he has, of course, his hoe. His hoe leaves the hotel and goes to do her thing, and the drug dealer who loans Jamie Foxx money shows up. Like, give me my goddamn money. He ripping the place apart. Jamie gives him his money reluctantly, and he leaves. The very next night, the drug dealer shows up like, give my damn money. And he's like, I gave you the money yesterday. Like, we did this already. And the drug dealer like, dog, stop playing with me. You do this every time. And he's like, young, I gave you, are you messing with me? Like, why are you asking for the money twice? And he's like, what? And so he says, let's go ask the hoe if she saw you yesterday and we can prove this. So they figure out that they both saw Jamie that night or the other guy's character that night. And he's like, this is spooky. So she's like, yeah, you in this brown Cadillac. He's like, I know that Cadillac. That Cadillac always is around me. And so they follow the Cadillac to this factory ultimately and discover that he has been cloned because his character was killed. And they're like, we saw you get killed. And he's like, I'm clearly here. So clearly y'all are tripping or something. They go into the factory, they find his body with the bullet holes, and he's messed up. Like, oh shit, I have been cloned. Wait, I am the clone? I'm not a real person. And they figure out that the government is doing these experiments and they're doing mind control via the liquor, via the weed, via the wigs, via the fried chicken, every story via the
All
cool
of these conspiracies.
drink, right? And all of these things are used to control the people. And so they're feeling like what do we discover? They're trying to control us and this, and that. And some people like see it as like it's exploitative. They use all of our stereotypes, but I think they were telling a bigger story, and it wasn't just like let's do the nigger movie with all the stereotypes.
Yeah.
They were seeing how we're being controlled. It was a metaphor. Some people took it very literal and were offended, and how dare they? Which I think is kind of corny. And some people saw the true symbolism behind it. Now, was the symbolism subtle, something that you couldn't figure out? That you had to be a PhD or Harvard graduate? No. So the symbolism can kind of be a little, it was surface level. So if you're a true intellectual, you could have been like, this is so easy to figure out. I know what you're doing. You're trying to show how they use these things to control the black community, and you can have an uppity attitude with it. But I didn't. I got it. I got it very early. I got it very easily. But I just thought it was still funny, still entertaining, still got the message across. And some of my folks that aren't as bright was probably still able to pick up on it. And that's the premise of the movie. But at the end of the movie, you find out that the guy that they cloned, like everybody was a clone of a clone of a clone of a clone of a clone. So the movie is called They Cloned Tyrone. But Tyrone is another character on the other side of the country who has no idea what's going on in this small fictional town. And these characters in this small fictional town were clones of him and his friends in his real town. And it just kind of goes to show, I think I saw a think piece that we are the clones because we're imitating what they want us to do. So we're not us, but well, yeah, I guess us, everyday people. We're imitating the gangsters and the pimps and the hoes, and that is taking over us. And the theme of the movie were the average everyday citizens were the clones. And the movie wasn't just about cloning the drug dealer. It was about us being the clones of drug dealers. No matter if we got a 9 to 5, no matter if what we're doing, we're still emulating these characters. And ultimately, we are the clones. And I thought it was good. I thought it was good. I've seen some people kill it.
I've heard like mixed reviews.
Me too. I'll tell you like this. I watched it, I think it came out Friday. I watched it Friday and Saturday I wanted to see it twice. And I told everybody I knew to watch it. Tell me what you think. I thought it was good enough or important. Important is a strong word. I thought it was good enough and at least thought-provoking enough that I wanted my folks to watch it and give me their opinion. So I tasked all my homies, like, dog, watch it. Is it the best movie? No, watch it, though. I'm going to talk about it. And I think that's
Is
the
it your
thing.
favorite movie? Is it your favorite movie of the year?
Nah. Now, that would make me think, what is my favorite movie of the year?
I don't think I watched a lot of movies this year now that I think about it.
Yeah, me neither, but I
Okay.
enjoyed it. And it's
So
the
on
kind
the scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate it?
1 to 5,
1 to 5.
3.5. And I
That's
think
like
3,
average.
well, I think 3 is good.
3 is average.
3.5.
4 and up is good.
I do the 5 mic scale. I'm a rapper. I'm a retired rapper. So whenever you do a 5, I do it according to the 5 mics in the Source magazine. So 2.5 is good. 3
Okay, well,
is no
according
2.5
to
is
my
average.
5-star system, the Tawana 5-star system, a 3
Okay.
is an average. A 4
Okay.
and up is a must see.
So 3.5 is what?
3.5
Above average.
it's a little above average.
A little?
It's
No.
slightly above average.
You only got a 5, so if 3 is average, then 3.5 got to be better than average.
I said slightly above.
Slightly. And 4 is what?
Good.
So what's 5?
Great.
What's 4.5? You see what I'm saying?
4.5 is
Slightly,
like a must see.
slightly better than good.
It's a must see.
Oh, well, according to your scale, I would give it a 4. According to my scale, it would be a 3.5, which ain't even a big difference.
I
Like you
don't
look
know.
at a 3.5 and a 4.
I don't know.
Like,
It didn't sound that exciting when you was describing it.
okay, that's fair. That's fair. You also have to add in the comedic element. You got Jamie Foxx. It was a couple times I could tell he was freestyling. He just saying something.
He was like ad-libbing.
You ad-libbing, and I just fell off my chair like, yeah, this nigga didn't just say, are you serious? There were at least 2 moments like that where I couldn't stop laughing because of some random ad-lib. Ain't got nothing to do with the script. But he just said it, and I was like, oh my fucking, this nigga did not just say. So I enjoyed it. And I'm going to watch it a couple more times. If I have a kickback, that'll be like, y'all want to watch something? Have y'all seen the Jamie Foxx show? Nah, I heard it was kind of bad. I heard it was kind of good. Nigga, we got to watch it.
Hold on, there's an echo.
Uh-oh. I don't hear it. Still hear it?
I hear an echo.
Okay. I don't know. I got my headphones on. I don't hear it.
Yeah, it's definitely there. It sounds like a robot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
I don't
Can
know.
you understand?
It wasn't doing that before.
Yeah, can you understand me at all?
I can understand you. It just sounds kind of shitty.
Do you have anything planned? Anything that would be playing Facebook? No?
What?
You can't understand me?
Now I can, but you just sound like you was mumbling just a few minutes ago.
Oh, I was saying, do you have anything
Okay,
else?
now it's better. It's gone.
All right, good. I was asking, was anything else playing that could have been interfering? Because in my headphones, it sounds great, but my headphones don't always tell the true story. So we good now?
Yeah, it sounds fine now.
All right. So I'll move on to our Black Fact of the Week. And this is a brand new subject, brand new topic. So I don't even have a drop for this. I have a drop for everything, but I just came up with this week. I was talking to my father and he was talking about Black history and how nobody's talking about it and how nobody's really doing anything to continue to push Black history. Now it's being forced out of the schools. And I was like, okay, I'll add a Black fact to my podcast. And I added it. and I didn't do sounds or nothing. But what I want to speak on is hip hop turning 50. As an MC, as a rapper, as a person that was raised by hip hop, as a person, like I've rapped, and as many of you know, the theme song of the podcast, a couple other snippets of the podcast come from my personal catalog. I put out albums for 20 years, cassette tapes, CDs, the whole works for 20 years. Got songs with the Neptunes, songs with Raheem Devon, DC, what up? I did it for my city. And to know that hip hop is now 50, the art form that I care the most about, the art form that brought me into podcasting, the art form that I paid my bills with rap. I would sell my CDs out the trunk of my car and pay my rent. Like rap was real, and I did shows all over. Shows with Outkast. I have, performed in clubs, 3,000-4,000 people. And hip hop gave me all that. It gave me my self-expression. It told me how to speak for myself. It told me that's how I learned how to do the podcast. And hip hop, I think of my favorites, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, Tupac, LL, Jay-Z, T.I., MC Light, Kendrick Cole, Nipsey Hussle, KRS-One, Public Enemy. I can't begin to tell you what hip hop did for me. I legally changed my name. Scarface. Thank you so much for saying that.
That's one of my favorites.
He's in my top 3. My favorite 3 are Tupac, Jay-Z, and Scarface. And I think I didn't even say Jay-Z or Scarface just now. But thank you so much for saying that, because he doesn't get his credit. Scarface
he's one of my top. I'll probably say top 2. I love Scarface.
I got him number 3, but that's to show you how much. And I've met Scarface. I've met Tupac. Like I've been around these dudes, and it's just, Salt and Pepper. You know what I'm saying? Like, can't forget the ladies, the white boys, Eminem, Beastie Boys, Everlast. I don't even know the other white rappers. Iggy Azalea, I don't fucking know. But we got them all over. Black, huh?
Would you name Iggy of all the white rappers? You're gonna name Iggy.
Else. I was like, who else is white? Who else
of
is
all
white?
the white rappers, you're gonna name Iggy.
Base.
That's the first person that came to your mind was Iggy.
She has a really nice butt.
I'm about to say, no, she does not have a nice catalog.
No, she has a nice ass. She has a nice assalog.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of nobody. I was like, who are my white rappers?
Okay, is this about ass or is this about hip hop achievement?
Sometimes hip hop bring you the ass. I'm just saying. Sometimes hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it do. Shout out Megan Thee Stallion. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Lotto. Shout out Nonchalant from DC.
So those are all the newcomers. We're talking about the history of Southern the last 50 years.
Yeah,
not
man.
the last 5 years.
So we got to shout out Grandmaster Flash, African Bambaataa, and the father of hip hop, DJ Kool Herc, who in 50 years ago decided to do a back to school jam. And when he was mixing and playing songs, he decided to let the beat break play over and over and over again. That's the part of the song where the singing stops and it's just the music. And he looped that and played it, and the crowd loved it, and he kept replaying it and kept replaying it. And then eventually brought somebody in to talk over that part, because that part became the best part of his show. And that guy would just talk about how great the DJ was. Hey, I see Kool Herc. He the man. He can scratch like nobody else can. Then somebody else was doing it, and they started imitating him, and they needed a guy to talk for him. Tell them that I'm the man. I'm the baddest ever. Can't nobody beat me. Never, never. Okay, you my MC. Now another DJ said, I need somebody to talk when I play the break beat. And these DJs gave these MCs a platform only if they talked about how great the DJ was. But then the MC started going, I want to say I'm great too a little bit. He's the best DJ in the world, but I'm a good rapper. I'll take your girl. Oh, so now the MC is getting some notoriety. And then everybody in the neighborhood wanted to be talked about. He's from Uptown. He's a beast. He run all of these streets. And then they started shouting on people in the crowd. And then the MC became almost equal to the DJ, because the DJ was up here forever. And the MC was down here forever. and then it got a little more equal. And then as the balance of power shifts, the MC became the star, and the DJ ultimately became the producer in 2023. And now we know rappers and producers are pretty much equal now. And that's the history of hip hop, man. You have MCing, DJing, b-boying, graffiti, breakdancing. Are you old enough to a breakdance? Did you ever breakdance?
No, I never break dance, but yes, I know about break dance.
I'm telling you, I used to go to the Sherman Circle in Northwest DC, and we used to bring our own cardboard, put it down, challenge somebody, and just start spinning on our backs or start pop locking. And what? You try to see me? I used to get.
Oh, you can still dance?
No, I can't. But I was a little kid, so I was hanging with the teenagers. So I was like 8, 9, 7, 6, and these guys were 12, 13, and I would just be the little kid that came around. But I would battle the big kids because I was fearless. Like I had the heart of a lion, so I'm out there battling them, and it was the most amazing thing that ever happened in this hip hop culture to me. I think to the planet.
So, question:
Okay.
How do you feel about the allegations about Africa Mabata being a predator?
It's heartbreaking. I was in high school and I went to MLK Library in Washington, D.C., and I signed up for the Zulu Nation. And Africa Mambata is the founder of the Zulu Nation. And the Zulu Nation was, unity. It was something very positive in the community. In DC, it wasn't that many people. That was a New York thing. And DC and New York had their little beef, drug beef. But I was like, I got to be part of this. It's hip hop. I got to be part of it. Me and my high school girlfriend went up there and signed up. So I have a lot of respect and esteem and love for Africa Bambaataa. But I also deplore what I've heard. And I'll tell you how I look at things. I don't listen to R. Kelly's music. I couldn't. It's not who I am. Like you've attacked children, women. I can't really rock with you. I stopped, watching the Cosby Show. I was one of those. Let me land the plane. I was one of those people where if I hear something negative and it can be proven, then I can't rock with you. My morals, my values are gonna prevent me from doing that. And I managed to not overlook, but I didn't keep Cosby in the same box as R. Kelly. We did it when I first started this show. It was an internet radio show, and we would do a top 5 countdown every week. We play music, and so it was the top 5 party songs, top 5 summertime songs, top 5 breakup songs, and then we did the top 5 fucking songs. And I would let the fans vote, and everybody wanted to vote for R. Kelly. So if I had let the fans have their way, R. Kelly would have been like 2 or 3 of the songs in the top 5. And I said, I'm not playing R. Kelly on my show. Period. And then about a month later, me and my co-host at the time did an episode because he was telling me if we look into every artist's past, every artist's secret closet, you wouldn't be able to listen to nothing. We know what R. Kelly did. We don't know what nobody else did.
Tupac was convicted of rape. Mike Tyson was convicted of rape.
Well, conviction by a white court doesn't imply guilt.
It doesn't imply automatic innocence either. In his case.
But we had videotape of R. Kelly. Like, there's no discrepancy. You can't compare R. Kelly to anybody who was accused. Because R. Kelly we have evidence.
Convicted. There's a conviction.
Well, I personally don't care about convictions by white courts. My name is now Tariq Numan. I think that speaks for itself. I don't care about what white people think or what white courts think. But we got video evidence of what R. Kelly did. We don't have video evidence of what Tupac did or anyone else you name. So it's
so that's the bar is we need video evidence for things? Because we don't have video evidence of a lot of crimes in the past.
Well, I'll put it this way. Tupac was charged with forcibly touching the buttocks. People say sexual assault, sexual abuse, he raped her. No, he was convicted of forcibly. No, hold up. He was convicted of forcibly touching her butt. This is a woman he had consensual sex with. And he went
And then
to
he
jail.
let his homeboys rape her.
Well, no, he let that's a wild statement because
He watched.
how do you let, according to him, he went to sleep. And according to the girl, he left the woman, went to sleep. The woman just said he shouldn't have left her alone. She didn't say he let his boys, well, no.
That's the same thing.
Not
He
quite.
knew what they was doing.
Not quite, because I don't want to. Okay,
Yeah, we get on topic. Okay, so
this is good, because
but I want to know how do you excuse the Bambaataa fucking on little teen boys talking about brotherhood?
I don't excuse it.
It sounded like you was heading that way.
No, that wasn't where I was heading.
You said you kind of overlooked it because you didn't have some kind of specific proof. That's the impression you were giving me.
Well, that's not what I said. But with African Bambaataa, I didn't have. This is where I stood with him. I don't know what happened, but I don't feel comfortable. Well, I can't punish him. And not that I'm punishing R. Kelly, but I can't listen to R. Kelly music. I just can't listen to you talk about a bunch of songs about sex, knowing you probably singing them about young girls. Africa Bambaataa, this may sound messed up. I don't listen to his music. So I don't have to stop listening. I don't listen to begin with. You know what I'm saying? R. Kelly, I was a fan.
But you don't condemn him either.
That's not necessarily true.
It don't sound like you condemn him.
Well, I don't know what happened.
Your whole tone and everything, your whole tone. When you talk about R. Kelly, your whole tone.
Well, it's because one thing I know for a fact, and one thing I don't know for a fact. I don't know what happened.
None of us do.
No, we know what happened with R. Kelly. It's on video.
Yeah, with one girl we do.
Like it's like when women. I was called homophobic because I didn't believe Jussie Smollett, and then we found out he was lying. So everybody called homophobic. Shut the fuck up. The little girl Carly Russell. I didn't know what happened. Oh, you don't believe black women? I don't know what happened. We found out she was lying. Shut the fuck up. I wait until I get facts. I don't just jump by what somebody say.
The Carly Russell, that's a separate situation. But
I mean, the end of the day is, do you know what happened with African Bambaataa?
I feel like based on all of the testimonies that I've heard, all of the interviews from the boys and the men who claim he touched on them and raped them and all that stuff, based on all the evidence that I've seen, I feel like he is guilty. He's definitely gay. He definitely preyed on other black men, and he definitely got problems.
Well, that's something that I need to educate myself on. I've never heard an interview.
What? It was all over YouTube.
You see the YouTube, like that's like.
No, I mean that it was like a huge investigations. Like a few different channels were like dedicated to it, and like it's like you know that main guy he's like a gangster who have his little YouTube channel now. Yeah, light skin. I don't think he's a real gangster, but I'm gonna send you the link.
Send me the link.
But he was a part of the Zulu Nation, but he was also a gangster with time in prison, did some crimes and all that stuff. But he was under African Bambaataa, and it came out after when he was like 30-some years old. He said African Bambaataa used to rape him when he was a teenager. They used to make him suck his weebie and shit.
Send me that.
Yeah, it was all over. It was a real big story some years ago.
I remember when everybody was saying like when the rumors started.
And there was a big lawsuit. I don't know if they settled the lawsuit. It was a big lawsuit against the Zulu Nation.
I never.
A couple years ago.
The extent of my knowledge of it was that there were accusations, and that was the extent of my knowledge. It went to court. It
was filed in 2021, so I don't think they went to court yet, unless they settled out of court since then.
Yeah, all I knew was that there were accusations. I never knew that it went to. Well, I guess it didn't go to court, but so it was nothing to really have an opinion on until it at least made it to court. You know what I'm saying? Like the reason why I'm so
It's definitely stuff. There's definitely paperwork in court now in New York, because they opened up that law that if you were raped back in the day and the limitations have expired, you can come back and sue now, like they did Cosby or whatever. Yeah,
yeah,
so some of his victims have come back and sued.
yeah, with Africa Bambaataa, I mean, he's partially credited for creating hip hop, but like everything he did that was really great was I was too young to, you know what I'm saying? The Zulu Nation, I was in high school and able to, see that. But like his songs, I was like 2 years old. Like I liked R. Kelly more than I ever liked Africa Bambaataa because I was a kid. He wasn't Tupac. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a love for him like that, just to be honest. But it would be easier to disassociate from him than it would from R. Kelly because I liked R. Kelly music. I ain't African Bambaataa. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know how many musical artists from back in the day or from now
What about him?
who done preyed on younger girls,
Well, see,
who done raped
it's
on
way
younger
different.
girls or boys and stuff?
Preying on, raping, and just dating younger people are three different things. And I think sometimes we can't conflate all of that. Like if you're 30 and you dating a 22-year-old, that's
not the same thing. That's not what we're talking about.
Well, what are we talking about? Because
we're talking about minors, like minors.
Well, what artists are we talking about? And I can tell you how I feel about them.
I mean, I don't know.
We talking about
Elvis.
How you think I feel
Didn't
about
Elvis marry the 14-year-old?
Yes. Now, how you think I feel about him?
Okay, I know how you feel about white people now. You've established that. I didn't know that before.
The anti-white people thing. I got white people in my family, but I'm just saying, like, I know you don't think I'm defending Elvis, and I'm not really defending anybody that I believe is actually.
I'm just saying.
But see, the difference is we know Elvis married
all these corporations that we buy at the supplies at the store. All these corporations. You don't think they did bad shit in the day to our people?
Well, I think that's a ridiculous argument because, if it's up to you, then we just never do anything. If
it's up to you, we'll never do anything.
No, if it's up to me, I do things. I told you I stopped watching Cosby. I stopped listening to damn R. Kelly. I had stopped listening to Michael Jackson for a minute. But what I do is when I
don't listen to Michael Jackson either? Based on what?
If you let me finish, when things started coming out, I started making my own opinion on it based on what I think. And when he wasn't guilty of anything, when the courts failed, I said, okay, Mike can go back in the CD player. But R. Kelly can never go back. R. Kelly, when the white boy said I was lying, my parents made me lie on Mike, I go, oh, okay, I'm not going to hold Mike to the same standard. I think what you feel, you must listen to R. Kelly a lot because there's something weird.
No, but I'm not.
Because when
I'm not about to ban him.
Well, that's you. I have a different.
I'm not going to ban Michael Jackson. I ain't going to ban Tupac. I ain't going to ban none of these people.
Well, I will. I got a different level of, and not to be like, oh, I'm better than you, but I'm different than you. You know what I'm saying? Like if I think you really did it, I can't in clear conscience listen to you. I can't. If I think you did it.
And where do you draw the line at? It's only certain crimes matter?
I draw the line with mainly harming women and children. That's what kind of really touches.
But if you kill 10 of our brothers, you cool with it?
Nah, I don't listen to none of them little dudes. No, I think it's foolishness, and I don't want to hear it. I don't listen to them neither. And I think what we should do sometimes is stop trying to figure out like where the hypocrisy lies and just listen to what a nigga saying.
And there's a lot of hypocrisy going on.
But I don't listen to them little dudes. So now ask me another question. So you asked me when my line was here, when my line was there.
So you don't listen to no dudes that sell drugs in our communities? I
ain't say nothing about not listening to dudes that sell drugs. I didn't say that. I told you I don't listen to them little dudes that be all that switches and killing and shooting. I don't listen to that. Now, if you think that if you want to equate a dude that sold drugs in a neighborhood to a dude that killed 10 people on some street beef.
But if he sold drugs and 10 people overdose, ain't that the same thing?
Well, if What if 10 people didn't overdose? It's not the same thing, right?
But I'm saying,
No, I'm saying,
drug dealers kill people.
Is it still the same thing?
Drug dealers kill people.
Not all drug dealers.
No, not all shooters either.
I didn't say I don't listen to shooters. I never said that. See, you're having an argument with yourself. I'm not saying any of this. I didn't say I don't listen to shooters.
No, but you said you said you don't listen to people that be talking. You said you don't listen to people that be talking about all that shooting and stuff. Now, drugs necessarily, that's not the same thing. That's what you said.
Well, right now, there really aren't many rappers that talk about selling drugs. I mean,
they don't talk about that shit.
But I think that no, they don't. That's just a lie. Like
most of them.
No, that's not true. That's a lie. Most of them talk about using drugs now. It's a different culture. No, that's a lie. You sound uninformed.
A lie.
You sound uninformed.
You sound like you know every single song that's out in the world.
No, you sound like you do because you made the declaration. I'm just saying your
declaration. There's both. There's both songs about drug dealing and there's both songs about drug taking. There's a both.
Okay, and that's what I said. You made it like they all do this. They don't all rap about selling drugs. They don't all rap about shooting. That's not all that rap is.
I just feel like there's hypocrisy.
Where's the hypocrisy?
I'm saying, when do we cut off the bad stuff? So you said women and children.
Every time you ask me a question, I say I cut off that bad stuff, and then you ask else. Do you listen to drug dealers? Do you listen to the drug users?
Because it's all negative, bad stuff that contributed to our people.
And I keep telling you, I don't listen to it, and you keep adding more stuff. Well, do you listen to people that do this?
What do you listen to?
The people that do that. You just keep trying to come up
with. What do you listen to then?
I listen to a lot of my rap. From when I rap, I listen to some J. Cole. I listen to Kendrick. Listen to Jay-Z. I listen to T.I., Scarface, Nipsey, one of my favorites. I listen to
They all talked about selling drugs.
Yeah, but I think that if you blanket statement everybody, and you miss all redeeming value in it, and you're like acting like white people do to black people. Like, and I remember like all Ice-T raps about drug dealing was the dude always got locked up or got killed, and it was always a message. But people call Ice-T a gangster rapper, and it's like, did you really listen to Ice-T? Jay-Z, people, he's right about selling drugs, but did you really listen to what he said? Like Jay-Z said on one of his songs, do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it? When somebody's saying, yeah, I sold drugs, but it was wrong and I hurt my community and I made a lot of money and I was fresh.
They don't all say that though.
Now that I'm older, well, I don't always listen to
they don't know give that message though.
But I don't listen to the ones that don't.
Okay, well, people in your audience might. So it's not just about you.
Are you talking to me or to the audience? Because
both.
Well, we can. You're not talking to me because I done told you how I view it, and you just keep trying to catch me in something.
We've already moved past that. You keep harping on it.
All right, well let's move past it all the way then. So next,
what's the next thing?
Is the what the fuck story of the week, and this is my favorite rapper, me.
It's the mayor.
So, our what the fuck story of the week.
Oh, wait, I have one too.
You brought your own what the fuck story?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. There's videos of these bears in the China Zoo that people are saying are humans in costume.
I only saw one. There's more than one?
Yeah, they're saying there's multiple. It looks suspect. I don't know what to think no more.
It's definitely a human.
You think
Did you
it's
see the way he was standing and waving?
I did, but I just
I've seen a real bear stand up. That is not how they stand.
so we're really so China is really being this silly right now.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
I
China,
wonder how much they paying them.
I don't even know what to think about that. Like, I saw the picture, the video, and I'm like, that looks like a human. Like, that don't even look real. But I'm like, my mind, because I'm anti-conspiracy theory and all that, but my mind is like, dog, that's the dude. It- it's just wild to me. Don't go to the China Zoo. You're not gonna get your money's worth. It ain't nobody but Ling Ling and Ming Ling in a damn bear suit waving at you, and they're going back and eating chicken nuggets. Like, avoid that. Come to the Atlanta Zoo. It's the largest and the best zoo in the United States. Come over here to us. Come to Death Row. That's all I got. That's all I got. Now, what do you have for what the fuck story of the week?
So my what the fuck story is, why are Lizzo's dancers suing her for fat shaming them? Like, what the fuck?
I assumed that they were skinny and she was skinny shaming them. They're saying she fat shamed
She was
them.
fat shaming them, saying, dancers get fired for gaining weight.
Did you hear about the part where she was making them touch strippers in strip clubs?
Yes.
Do you believe that?
Yes.
I don't know what to say about that. I
Me
listened to
neither.
Joe Budden earlier, and he was like, if we go to the strip club, I'm like, yeah, here go $20. Go give her a tip. Go, yeah, that's that leg. Then that's not really criminal. You know what I'm saying? But if you're like, you better do it or you lose your job, then that
But if
is.
you like intimidate them and like pressure them,
Yeah. I'm just gonna tell you like this. I'm not the biggest fan of Lizzo.
you
I
don't
don't
like her
want.
music.
I don't listen to that kind of music. I don't listen to pop at all. But I'm
Here
not a
you
big.
go.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm not. But I don't believe her. It's like I know when people are real. I know when you're really confident. I know when you're really proud of your shape, and I know when you putting on. And she be putting on. She be crying on the internet every other week about how people tease about how she look. If you as confident as you say you are, you're not crying every week. So I think she fake. I think she a phony. And I wish her well. And I wish that she could have the confidence that she wants to have. But I
How
know
you
she,
call her fake and phony and then say I wish her well?
because I can wish fake and phony people well. What the fuck?
What
Like,
the hell?
how does your brain work? I
That is
can't.
an oxymoron.
No, I can think you're fake and what was best for you. Just because I think you fake don't mean I want bad things to happen to you. That's crazy.
I
You
think
have
she's
got to
fake.
be
I
Spain.
think she's phony. I wish her well.
You can't wish somebody well that
That's
hasn't.
how niggas sound. That's how y'all niggas do.
I,
Y'all insult. And then,
and then we wish you well. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
like, what the fuck?
But like with me, like when you wish somebody healing, you wish them healing because of something bad, something they're doing that isn't right, something that's detrimental. So I can't wish you healing if you're healed and perfect. You know what I'm saying? But if I think you faking, I can wish you healing. If I think that you totally irrational and lose your temper all the time, I can still wish you healing. I can wish you the best. I could think you are a terrible relationship partner, and I don't want to be with you because you suck. But I wish you well. I hope you fix that and find somebody that'll love you.
Okay,
You know what I'm
if
saying?
you say so. Do you
Hey,
think? Do you think Lizzo's a bully?
I could see it. I could see it isn't far fetched to me. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wouldn't have thought it, but I can't tell you I can't see it. I can see it. Because of how insecure I think she is, and I think insecure people are usually the biggest bullies. Soft,
So
suckers, and they just do the most yelling. because they're insecure. That's how they cover it up.
Yeah.
So she's so, I love myself. And it's clear she doesn't because she cries every week on the internet. So I love myself and I'm a big girl and I do this and I do that. Yeah, you're insecure. And I see your insecurities all over your outfit. And I can see you bullying people and being mean because you have the money, you have the power, and you don't have to be the fat girl right now. I'm the boss right now. I see that weak shit in her. I wish her healing, but I see that weak shit in her.
Now you wish her healing.
I do.
Okay.
You think I wish healing for people that got it already together? I can only wish healing on somebody who's flawed. That's also
Everyone is flawed.
And some are more flawed than others. Some are flawed without healing. I don't wish her perfection. I wish her healing. We're all flawed, but some of us have healed. So I don't have to wish healing on somebody who's flawed and healed. You wish healing on somebody that's flawed and unhealed. I'm gonna learn you today. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
Okay. You're gonna learn some things too, sir.
All right, I hear you. I wish you healing.
I wish you well.
No, what Future say? Damn, what did Future say? I'm good, love, and joy. But I hope it's not true about Lizzo. I'll say that.
They're gonna probably end up settling out of court.
I don't want it to be true.
I think it's true.
You do. So you see her flaw, you see her insecurity too?
I can see her being a bully. She can give that energy.
Okay. And speaking of bullies, this is the good one. Speaking of bullies, let's get into another bully right here. The bully that damn near sunk the entire damn country. This dude.
So dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Our Don't Be Dumb award goes to none other than former President Donald Trump. Who has been indicted in multiple states. And it looks like they're going to convict him for his crimes in New York and his crimes in Georgia. And what's our DA name here in Georgia?
He's indicted in New York for the porn star payments.
Mm-hmm.
He's indicted in Florida federally for the hiding classified documents. He's indicted in Georgia for trying to interfere with the election. And he's indicted in Washington, D.C. for the insurrection. That's 4 different states. So 2 of them are federal cases and 2 of them are state cases.
How do you think it's going to play out?
I think he's going to take a plea deal. He's not going to do any prison time. He's going to agree not to run for president or any kind of elective office. He'll pay some kind of huge fine in millions of dollars, and that'll be it. He ain't gonna do no jail time.
That sounds like the most realistic. But you know the young lady here in Georgia, what's her name? Fanny. She don't play.
It don't sound like she's gonna offer a deal.
I don't think she's offering no deal.
But that's a state case, so Kemp will probably pardon them. Yeah. In Florida, no, that's federal. That's a federal case. So Washington D.C. is the federal case. So
Florida, they ain't about nothing out there. The
New York case, he's not gonna do no jail time on that case. So
it's the DC or Georgia cases are the only ones that can really wrap them up.
Actually, it's only the federal ones, the DC or the Florida.
The insurrection in the Florida. But so how much power does
the Florida one with the documents, that's federal. So DeSantis can't.
Okay.
He can't pardon him or anything.
So maybe he might. I would find it very hard to believe they give him time.
I know. Could you imagine a former president like in solitary confinement?
It would be
like getting the same meals, like
Yeah, it would be hilarious to me because I can't stand that dude.
Because
I can't
I mean,
stand.
what they gonna do? Give him special treatment? Like you can't. I don't know.
I don't know either, but it should be interesting. It should
But
definitely.
I don't think that just because he's president that he should get like lifetime immunity from any and all crimes. Like, no, he should go to prison like anybody else.
I
And he's
agree.
intentionally committing crimes. He's on tape admitting to it. He's having people destroy evidence. Like, there's a lot of evidence against him.
Yeah, and Trump, I hope you get what you deserve.
Yes.
Hope you get it.
We
Um,
wish you the life you deserve, Trump.
yeah, every day, all day, twice on Sunday. And our Nipsey Hussle Award. This is be quick, but I do definitely want to shout out some folks.
If it's
Okay,
sports, if it's
okay.
fashion, if it's music, if it's hustling, whatever, you just you on a marathon, you know.
So you on your marathon, and I'm not gonna make a big deal of this because I think I mentioned it earlier. But actually, you know who I'm gonna give the Nipsey Hussle Award to? I'm gonna give it to the Kickbackers. To be 11 years in, going from an internet radio show to a Periscope show to a Facebook Live show, then to a podcast about 4 years ago, and to have the most streams ever in just in this last month of July. I'm gonna give it to y'all, to everybody that's listens and cares and is willing to pay me any damn mind and any attention with my crazy thoughts. I thank you for sitting down for 5, 10, 20 minutes, an hour and listening to me, because it would not be possible without you. So if you cared enough to go, what the hell New got to say today? Thank you. And having said that, I want to go immediately into our this or that. Did you want to add anything there?
No, congratulations. Great job. Keep up the good work.
Yes, yes, yes. And now we can get into one of my favorite segments that YouTube doesn't allow me to play the full sample. I don't play as much of it as I can. So our this or that of the week. What's more likely? This or that? Someone you think is good at sex by their look or their attitude actually are, or their look and attitude means nothing and you wind up disappointment. What's most likely to happen? What is your experience, Tawana? You see a guy or girl, not whatever you're into, you go, I bet they can. Woo! And then you get it and like, I knew it. I can tell it. I can look in their eyes. I can see it. Or you go, man, I bet they could. You got to be kidding me. Another one tricked me. What's more likely to happen based on your experience?
In my experience, I'm strictly diggly.
Okay.
So in my experience, you can't just go by looks.
Okay.
Because a man can look fine, he could be confident, he can have all the personality in the world, he could dance good,
Damn.
all of that, and then get in the bedroom and it just don't be hitting.
Not be able to put it together.
It don't be hitting like it should be hitting.
Okay, so it's more likely that you could see, you could think, I bet, and be disappointed than I bet and be right.
Yeah, you're more disappointed than you are surprised.
I'll say I think I have a decent sense. Like when I really think, usually
You right?
Let's say maybe 6 times out of 10. It ain't no perfect number. It ain't no high percentage. but I got a good idea. But what I
Well,
say, well, go ahead.
okay. Well, when it comes to head, I'm usually right about that. So I can usually look at a man and be like, yeah, I can tell he can eat some pussy. Like,
Dang, I would think that's more difficult to tell. Okay.
yeah, you can always look and tell the way they mouth, the confidence. You can just tell.
Okay.
Now the dick that may be where it could be hit or miss. It's 50-50.
Okay. Okay.
Because you may not, and there may be the size,
It's more
just
factors.
exactly,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
exactly.
One thing I know, well, more times than not, if a woman is bragging about her head game, I just automatically go, all right, man. You know what I'm saying? Because usually, and I know people who brag about things and that they're good at. Like they bragging because they're good.
Yeah,
That exists too. But what I've found is if a woman overemphasizes how good she gets head, that's usually going to be blah. And I don't know why that is, because a woman bragging about her sex game, that usually, it's a decent chance she
it
tell me
pans out, right?
if she brag about, I don't know why that's a thing, but if she brags about her head, I'm usually like,
Oh, she probably sucked.
yeah, I'd have been thrown up on. I, I don't know why that's not.
But you know what? A lot of men don't know how to give head right.
I think you're right. I have heard that. I've had female hosts on the show. I got a ton of female besties, and for a long time they were telling me, men, they ain't doing nothing right. I'm like, really? Like, no, they're just. And I came up with this term, like they're just jerking off in y'all pussy. Like they're not even having sex with y'all. They just jerking off inside you. Like from the stories that I was hearing. And I found it hard to believe, but then it hit me one day. They don't care how y'all feel. They're not having sex
Yeah,
for God. They're having sex for them. They're like, man, I gotta give me this nut. I'm trying to get me. They
they
don't.
don't even be
They don't.
creative. Maybe like two positions. Just
Yeah, they don't care. Um,
wait. No, the foreplay be lacking. Men don't understand the power of foreplay.
I hate that you're right. I wish you could say like most men or some men or a small percentage of men, but I got a lot of female friends and they all say the same thing. So it ain't even like I can't even, fellas, I can't defend this. I don't know what y'all are doing.
I don't know.
But
Y'all need to go to some kind of sex university or something.
yeah, and we did I did a couple seminars with cocktails, dirty discussion, Jade.
Did you give them some tips?
Were you ever at any of those? I don't even know if you were there. You might have been there.
What are you talking about?
These seminars. They were in all the Facebook groups. We was holding them.
Mm-mm.
Jade that does erotic stories. She's been in a couple of those groups. You ever seen the
I don't know. I don't think I
podcast
know who that is.
cocktails? Oh. Well, you might. I guess you're not really that. Well, maybe you weren't
Yeah,
that
I'm
active.
not that popular.
I wasn't saying that. I was saying maybe not that active. But I remember
Yeah, I'm not.
I did a seminar with Jay, the erotic writer, cocktails, dirty discussions, some strippers, and da da da. And we had some really good conversations. And I remember leaving there and getting like 20 numbers, and I was like, "This is crazy." Like a girl that asked me to come demonstrate on her what should be done in front of her man. And I was like, "Well, you trying to get me killed?"
Wait, this is someone you had already been with before?
No, she just was at the seminar and heard the conversation and was like,
Oh, yeah. So the
you,
conversation was giving tips on that?
yeah.
Okay.
It was a seminar. Well, maybe I should say it was a sex seminar. That's
All
what
right. You didn't say, you just said seminar. Like,
yeah, my bad. But yeah, and I feel for that. And I guess another thing, well, I guess, well, damn, I'm acting like you know. Okay, so to bring it full circle, like we do a lot of intimacy conversations on a podcast as well. That's the
Okay.
Kickback After Dark.
Oh,
And I,
that's not this.
nah, we do that as well, but this is biggest stories of the week. So we do biggest stories of the week. We'll do a sports episode. We do the After Dark, and then we do conversation.
Oh,
And
you
we
should put me on the after dark one. I like talking freaky stuff.
I tell you, we'll bring you back for After Dark um, in September. How was that?
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah. Oh, did you hit me with the we'll see? Yeah, yeah.
I'll check my schedule.
Right. So you're not. We've been doing those lives. Me and Kim from KJ World have been doing lives after dark lives.
Yeah, I know Kim.
Yeah. Well, we just like this was like the last month. Like we've been doing these after darks. Like she brought me on as.
Oh, okay. I don't think I'm in her group anymore. KJ World. I
Well,
left. Well, I'm not in no groups really.
it was on our public pages, but I think that now that we connected and now that you've done the pod, I think when I go live, I think it might catch your eye a little more now. You will see. But like, yeah, we've been doing she's brought me on as a resident sex expert like 2-3 times already. So
Oh, so you're a sex expert?
I care enough to know.
Oh my goodness.
I care enough to know.
Okay.
I don't know another way to say it. I think the problem is people don't care. I actually care. So let's go into and we're gonna get back to this. I'm gonna bring you back on.
Okay.
We definitely had this conversation, but I want to get into Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill. What does that even mean?
So you told us you had your Barbie outfit on, showed her at the movie theater with your girls. How was the movie?
The movie was good. Like I was giggling and laughing throughout. All of us were. It was a lot of nostalgia. Like they showed like different toys and stuff that you remember having as a kid, like the camper and the boat and the Barbie house and all this stuff. So it's like a lot of stuff was recognizable. It's like, oh my God, I remember that one. I remember that one and all that stuff. So that was cool. But also just the underlying messages of women empowerment and just being confident and in a male dominated world, how hard it is to be a woman. But in Barbie world, Barbies rule the world. Women are the most powerful thing in Barbie world. But in the real world, men are the patriarchy and men rule everything and men have all the power and all the say. So it was just those little hidden messages throughout that, really translated to the audience.
Okay. So
What's going on with your mic? Did it go dead?
I think you broke my mic.
I ain't did nothing.
It looked like it might have been you. I'm not sure, but we're gonna figure it out. But I mean, I'm not gonna see the movie. Maybe I'll watch it if it come on TV.
Because white people?
Nah, because Margot Robbie in that joint. I love her. So I might watch it just because she in it.
Okay.
Like, I don't have a lot of white girls I think attractive, but Margot Robbie is if you made me name one.
Did you see my post where someone commented, "You beautiful black sisters, why are you going to see this white movie? They made that for them, not for us."
I saw people complaining that that white people was complaining about what was it? Ariel, the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, that was the Little Mermaid.
And then y'all with.
I'm gonna need you to fix this mic issue. Can you just take it off?
Yeah, I just did, but I think the issue was they were saying that y'all wouldn't saw that when they wouldn't go support her.
Because
So,
that's like
man.
the Barbie movie was an adult movie. Like the Mermaid movie was mostly for kids. Like I know a lot of people who have little girls that went to see it.
Okay.
Yeah. But no,
So
I
the
didn't go
Barbie
see that.
movie
That's true. I didn't go see it.
that was an adult movie?
The Barbie movie, yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Is Margot Robbie Barbie?
Yeah.
Ooh. All right, I might watch that, Joe. Her. I've been loving her since
And
Wolf of Wall Street.
Issa Rae is the president Barbie.
Issa's in it?
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
shit.
in. I wish that's my only complaint. I wish I would have seen more of Issa.
Okay.
I wish she had a more of a bigger part or whatever. But yeah.
All right, Issa. Okay, I will watch it whenever it comes on HBO or whatever. Come on. I'll watch it. They got my girl Issa in there. I'm gonna check it out. But I want to thank you for being on tonight. You got me riled up with these African Bambaataa R. Kelly things. But we had a really good conversation, and I appreciate your perspective. And now I know where to place you. Now I know what episode to get you on to really get you talking. But tell everybody where they can follow you, where they can find you. And I know you're looking at starting your own podcast, so let them know how they can keep up with you until it gets off the ground.
Right now you can follow me on Instagram on Fine Hair Do Care. That's Fine FINEDOCARE. Fine Hair Do Care.
Okay.
And yeah, that's where you can keep up with me.
So do you do hair?
I do my own braids.
Okay, they look good. I
Thank
like
you.
those. I like those. If y'all not
Thank
watching on YouTube, you should tune in because I like them. I like them.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's what's up. And of course, I'm No Breaks New everywhere. No Breaks New YouTube page if you want to watch the video and see her fine hairdo kid braids. And did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And of course, on Instagram, TikTok, every place you can find content, No Breaks New. This is a Pod Named Kickback. I appreciate y'all tuning in every week. I don't even know what's coming up next because we've never had this amount of attention on us. So Joe Budden, you're watching. Charlamagne the God, you're watching. Whoever's 85 stuff y'all watching, where my deal? Where my deal? Holla at me. In the immortal words of myself, Uno, we out.